Good to go? Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Oh, what time is it? 3:03. 3:03 p.m.
Sean Tao. Karina Talamantes.
Here.
Katie Valenzuela.
Here.
Katie Maple.
Here.
Mai Vang. Phil Cerna. Patrick Kennedy. Rich Desmond. Sue Frost. Pat Hume. Mary Jane Lopez Taff.
Here.
Rod Brewer.
Here.
Kevin Spees.
Here.
Sean Farmer. Garrett Gatewood.
Here.
Tanya Kravchuk. Noel Mora. Bina Lefkowitz.
Here.
Saul Hernandez.
Here.
Jennifer Larrett. Portia Middleton. Sergio Robles. And Linda Budge. And we have a quorum with 10 members present. And I'll read the statement. This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.net. Today's meeting will be repeated Saturday, May 25th at 4 p.m. on Channel 14 and can also be viewed on Metro Cable 14's YouTube channel. The meeting will also be recorded via Zoom. A DVD copy will be available upon request no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. The full agenda, including reports, is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Members attending via Zoom should raise their hand in the Zoom program. Please speak clearly when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard.
Thank you. Now, if everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Clerk, is there any public comment on matters not on the agenda? Okay. Moving along to item 3, Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
She's here. She's running.
And Director Vang just arrived.
Yeah. I had to walk there like 5 times.
Lord. I was picking, the one that was better suited. So, again, I'm Anita Scurry. I'm the president of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library, your partners in many things, including finding things for the Sacramento room, like prohibition in Sacramento, moralizers and bootleggers in the wettest city in the nation, or Neighbor Wood's guidebook from the Sacramento Tree Foundation, just little things that we find at the book den that we share with the library, and they get to keep them if they want them or give them to somebody else. I'd like to give you a brief report on the Big Day of Giving. This year there were 820 nonprofits participating, 100 more than last year. We ended up being number 7 on the list in terms of number of donors and number 22 in terms of the overall funds raised. And I would like to thank Chair Talamantes for her donation. It was appreciated, and congratulations on your wedding. So we, although we raised less than we did last year, it was still, by the time offline checks came in, we believe it will be over $100,000. So that's pretty good. Although I was disappointed that we didn't exceed what we did last year. But hey. So I brought with me, in the interest of helping you learn a little bit about some of the different branch friends, some friends from my branch, which is our Dimmock Library. And I don't know if there are any other folks on your Zoom screen. from our branch. But those I have with me, actually, I have an important one sitting back there, not coming forward. With me is David Wagner, who is the president of the Friends of the Art Endemic Library and also president of our legacy giving arm called Friends Investing in Sacramento Public Library. And he will share with you a little bit of what they do, and his lovely wife, Chris Wagner, who is, these are like two of the best volunteers you could ever find. Let me just say it that way. There you go, David.
Thank you. It's the peril of being in a branch that starts with A. You're up first. And I promise after 33 years at Sac State to not go into professor mode. Otherwise, you'll never get to closed session. At Art Endemic, we have a 15-person board. We are reasonably unique in that we try to have one member of that board, a teenager, involved with the library in our teen program. And when that's not possible, we make sure that the teens come in and report. We think it's critical for us to do our work as Friends of the Library to stay in touch with all age groups which use the library and library services. We have 238 Friends members, of which we estimate 40 to 45 of them are active, and by active we mean they participate in the book sales and other events that are sponsored by the Friends. We have 2023, the total volunteer hours was 2180, which we know is underestimated because none of us fully keep, like you, none of us fully keep track of the time that we invest as volunteers. I want to share with you a couple observations from 11 years of volunteering with the Friends. It is impossible to really grasp that many of the volunteers are volunteering to the Friends and to the library specifically because of the importance the library played in their lives growing up. In many instances, it was the only place they could go for quiet reading. It was the only place they could go to get reading material. And they're paying it back, is how they describe it to me. Also, we have those who maybe did not have that experience growing up, but understand that a robust library and support of that library is critical to a community. Not just for what it does with literacy and reading, but the range of services that can be offered primarily by a library. That draws their interest and the reason why they come and they volunteer. The Friends also provide a ready source of community input and feedback when requested by the library. We are a partner to the library and for the library. We do supply funds to help support library programs when requested and when the coffers are full enough to be able to do so. We also find that our volunteers cross over to library events and volunteer. A number of them are volunteers doing the library side, as well as extraordinary events, particularly things like Election Day, where at Art Endemic we saw thousands of cars pulling in, and our volunteers were the bulk of the volunteers on Election Day to assist. Some observations on the future that we see. We believe that Art Endemic will continue to be a source of financial support for the Art Endemic Library. We have a stream of income, which is primarily from book sales, members, and increasingly from community members who wish to support the library by providing monthly or annual gifts to the Friends. We also are trying to prudently invest our money take what we know we're not going to use in the next couple years, put them in insured CDs, investigate endowment opportunities so that there's a steady stream of income in the future to assist the patrons of the Arden Dimick Library. Arden Dimick, with its local branch supervisor, was the first library to sponsor the Book First program. And it was so successful that it was then adopted by the library system and is a tremendous success in promoting literacy for disadvantaged youth in the first grade by providing them with books. We also have a local commitment to that. We have a program in December with free book gives away for children, and we just finished one last week in anticipation of the summer reading program. I thank you for the opportunity to acquaint you with what we do. Stop by any time. We are a mid to small size library, so you will not get lost in the stacks. And on behalf of our board, we want to thank you for your commitment to the library in Sacramento. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Before he goes away, it's okay. So one of the things I'd like to say is that the Friends are, as a system-wide entity, are going to be giving our all to the upcoming parcel tax renewal campaign to educate people about what the library does and the value the library has in our community. So that's one way of showing that not only do we make monetary contributions, but we also make human resource contributions as well. And so I think that will be a very important part, this education process. And so we look forward to working with the library at its events and thank all of our lovely volunteers.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all the work that you do.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, good.
Good. Thank you so much, Anita. Next up, we have a presentation from our amazing City of Sacramento staff. Mr. Fidolia, a.k.a. Sparky, is his preferred name, and Lillian Azevedo. It's on the City of Sacramento Partnership Program for e-trikes. You.
Okay, it's me. Thank you, Chair Telemontis, and congratulations. I haven't seen you since a big event. Thank you for having me today. As mentioned, my name is Sparky Harris. I'm a principal planner with the Public Works Department in the City of Sacramento and project manager for the EV Blueprint Phase 2 implementation, which includes a lot of really good work that the library has been supporting. So I appreciate the opportunity to share with you today some of the things that we've done. Is it this thing? Whoa. It just buzzed at me. Okay. So the EV Blueprint is really made up of 3 programs. It's a California Energy Commission grant-funded project that we started back in 2001 or so. I inherited the project when some city employees moved on, and that just seems to be how I get a lot of my projects. So I was tasked to getting this to the finish line, and I've come to really appreciate and love the project. The 3 main pillars of the project really are to install Level 2 EVSC at 13 locations throughout the city of Sacramento, primarily libraries, community centers, and a couple of parks, to expand our community car share that is run by the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District, and to stand up an e-bike lending program, which the library has been instrumental in making happen. Part of the community engagement effort that we put together was developing a comic book. It's something that was in the grant application itself. None of us had ever put together a comic book and didn't really know how to do it. But when we approached the library and asked for their advice, we collectively came up with the idea. You can pass those out, Kathy, whenever you want. We came up collectively with the idea of, I think it's the next one, I hope so. Oh, I missed it.
I think it's further in.
It's further in?
With the kids.
Oh, okay, yeah. You'll see it later. But you have a group of teenagers, the system-wide STAB, System-Wide Teen Advisory Board. We basically tasked them with coming up with the storyline. So the kids wrote this story. And then we partnered with Bruce Trey-Sants, who you see here, who's a local Sacramento guy. He runs Impound Comics, and he took the storyline, coordinated all of the artists, and came up with the artwork, and we put together the comic book that's available currently in English and Spanish, and we're thinking about some other language, but that's what's available right now. Oh, here they are. Yeah. So this is your System-Wide Teen Advisory Board. These are the kids that came up, young adults, that came up with the storyline that is in that comic that you see. Here's just a little snapshot of another task of the project, which was to come up with an equity dashboard. We were tasked with coming up with a way to measure how well these new programs are being utilized by the community. So we hired a consultant. They've put together this dashboard. We're currently in the process of transitioning this off of the consultant's web servers onto the city's web servers. As 1, 2, 3, 4 of you know, we just completely changed our website. So there was a little bit of difficulty because what we promised to when we started this project has changed. So just getting all the pieces to fit has been a little difficult, but we're almost there. And then getting into implementation, for e-bike lending, we launched at Colonial Heights back in August. That was our first site. The next phase is for us to go out to Bell Coolidge, South Natomas Library, and North Natomas Library. And the reason why North Natomas is in italics is an interesting story. North Natomas was not on our radar. It's not part of our plan, but North Natomas Jibe approached us and basically said that they've been trying to stand up an e-bike lending program for years and just haven't been able to make it stick, and wondered if there was a way that we could partner with them to make that happen. So we put together an agreement. Thank you, City of Sacramento's Attorney's Office, that basically allowed North Natomas Jibe to pretty much donate the lockers and the bikes and trikes necessary for that program, and we would just fold it into that program. So it's really a no-cost addition to the program that just gets one more library into the program for us. So the way that it operates is at each of the sites that has the e-bike lending program, we install these bike lockers. This was something we had to figure out along the way. There is no room inside of the libraries to display the bikes. There was also the issue of what do you do? You see this is a rainy day. What do you do when you have wet or muddy bikes and you're bringing them back into the library? So we came up with the brilliant idea of let's keep them outside. So when a patron checks out a trike, library staff walks out to them, unlocks the locker. They take it out. When the trike is returned, it goes back into the locker. Our maintenance crew does a once-over to check the air, the brakes, the chains, to make sure everything is operating correctly, and then they let the library know that it's ready to be checked out again. You may recognize this person. She helped us with our launch event at the Colonial Heights Library. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but I heard that it was an amazing event. I saw all the pictures, and I know some council members were there as well. So it was just a great opportunity to get this up and running. And we also partnered with SABA, the Sacramento Area Bike Advocates, to put together a series of 4 videos. So when a patron checks out these trikes, they have to watch these 4 videos first, and those are focused on how you check out a bike, how you lock it, how you charge it, and I always forget the 4th. Check out, lock, and operations. Because they're a little squirrely, you know. They've got a really low center of gravity, and they do go 20 miles an hour. So you do have to get a little bit of training on proper operations. We're also tracking these bikes to an extent for public security reasons, public okay, how do I say this? We are not trying to track where people are, where they're going. We don't care. Honestly, our mechanic was a little concerned that some of these are winding up in Carmichael. And I told them that's no big deal. As long as they return it back to the library, we don't have any restrictions on where you can take them. But we put the tracking devices on there simply for recovery reasons. If a bike goes missing, we want to be able to turn the tracker on and have some indication of where it is so that PD can help us recover these bikes. With that said, we have had 5 of them disappear. And to the best of my knowledge, 1 has been an actual theft where a patron left it outside, unlocked, came out the next morning, it was gone. And the other 4 have been patrons that just haven't returned the trikes. So I'm in the process now of sending registered letters to all of those patrons that haven't returned them, just to put them on notice, and then I'll work with the city attorney's office on what are the next steps that we can take to try to recover those bikes. So that is the e-bike lending program. For EV charge, if I start throwing acronyms around, just shoot a hand up. EV charging, our first phase is almost done, believe it. I think I might have produced this before I got the photos from the sites, but Bell Coolidge, Colonial Heights, and Pinnell Center are site ready. They've already gotten all of the flat work done, all of the conduit is being run, and we're just waiting for the EVSC devices to actually arrive, which we will believe will be by early October. The next phase, we'll get 5 more locations throughout the city. The third phase, we'll add 2 more. And then the fourth phase, we'll round out the 13 sites that we've committed to doing, and we hope to have all of those done by the end of the year. This is what the devices will look like, as well as some signage. Council members here will see an item, I believe on, no, it's part of the fee and charge report that will set the rates for what people will be charged for charging their cars. So hopefully none of that is an issue. And then the final thing is the expansion of our community car share. Since Colonial Heights has been kind of ground central for all of the programs, we intend to launch the car share expansion there as well. And then we're looking at the potential for 5 other locations for car share, and that will come as soon as the chargers are installed. This is just an example of one of the cars that the Air District currently has available to their members. Uh-oh, that's not good. There we go. The primary difference between the existing program and ours, or the expansion, is that the existing program lives on multifamily housing complexes. So an apartment complex will have a car or 2 dedicated to that site, and then the residents within that complex can use the cars. Since we're going to be parking these at libraries, we're going to identify income qualified households within a radius of the libraries and direct our incentives towards those households so that they can use the Our Community Car Share rate, which I believe is $4 an hour, versus Zipcar's market rate, which I believe is $14 an hour, and then the grant will help us pay the delta. And this is just a little snapshot of how we're going to target those income qualified households, because obviously we don't want to get into the business of taking people's tax returns and looking at their W-2s and all that. It's already been done. We have the Sacramento Utility Rate Assistance Program that our utility department uses right now, which is actually piggybacking off of a program that SMUD is already doing. So SMUD income qualifies folks, puts them on a map. We get a quarterly download of where those households are so that we can provide them with subsidized rates for water and sewer and garbage collection and all of those. We're going to use that same map to target folks for subsidized car sharing as well, so that we don't reinvent the wheel. So that is my last slide, and I think my friend Leanna wants to say something.
I am just here to share feedback from the patrons on the e-trike lending program. And so basically, they're extremely grateful and excited to have this program, so much so that the Colonial Heights branch library gets phone calls on a daily basis asking if there are any e-trikes available. Because they are not holdable, it's very hard for folks to get them because they're constantly out, especially since we changed the guidelines. So now they check out for 1 week instead of 3 weeks. But people say they're grateful because they don't have any other form of transportation, and the fact that it has the basket in the back makes it easy for them to go grocery shopping, stuff like that, or to get to appointments. Appointments for doctor's appointments is actually one of the other ones that they bring up. They are interested in not only e-trikes, but having bikes. I don't know how to ride a bike, so that's fine. But yeah, they have expressed interest in two-wheeled bikes instead of trikes. And they don't mind the checkout process, which is lengthier than checking out a book because you have to watch the 4 videos, you have to sign the waivers and all of that, but they are more than willing to wait and do all of that in order to have access to the e-trike. And the technician that the city has contracted with is amazing and is so responsive and does everything that they need to do so that the e-trikes get a quick turnaround. So it's been a really positive response from our patrons, and they have given us some feedback that we're just discussing and that we were just like, oh, that makes sense. So Sparky and us are always in conversation as to how to make this process and this e-trike lending better for our patrons. So that's it.
Wonderful work. Thank you so much for the presentation. And we have Director Maple.
All right, thank you, Chair. First of all, thanks for making this trek all the way over here.
So far.
Really glad that you're here and to have a presentation on this. It's something that also on the Air District Board, a lot of my colleagues here, so it's really exciting to see the collaboration between different entities, right? Between the different districts, between the city and the county, so and the library authority. And my ask, I guess, or my question is around what is the process for determining which ones go first? And this is a little selfish because I don't actually have any public libraries in my district. I have nearby Colonial Heights, kind of, but a lot of Oak Park residents aren't actually going to Colonial Heights. So I'm just curious, like, what's the process for deciding which places go first and have those types of amenities?
That's a great question. We did it early on. We really tried to hit some of the historically disadvantaged communities as early as possible. For the e-trikes, I know we intended to start at Valley High, actually. That's where I first met Kathy and Liana. Nice. But, just based on some logistics, Colonial Heights seemed to be an easier fit. So since we were just launching, we tried to make it as easy as possible before we got to the more difficult sites. And now that I'm saying it out loud, that actually factored into some of the other ones, like Del Paso was supposed to be a high priority one. It's got a very constrained parking lot, which made it really hard for us to do. MLK was actually going to be our first site, and then we found out that there were some structural issues that was going to get shut down for a while. We chose Bell Coolidge, and then found out later that after we installed the lockers, it got shut down. So really, it's trying to be as strategic as possible, but we don't always get it right.
Process of elimination. No, totally. Well, we're so excited to see that throughout the phases. So you said all phases are intended to be complete by the end of the year.
For the level 2 chargers, yes.
For the chargers, and then
the cars should come soon after that. We're still trying to figure out what's that sweet spot of how many cars and at how many locations, but that's going to be kind of a rolling process as well, just depending on how fast we burn through the incentives.
Perfect. Well, I can tell you the Oak Park Community Center has a vast parking lot, and it has usually got some empty spaces, so if that's helpful in your decision making. But really appreciative of this. As someone who drives an EV and lives in Oak Park, I can tell you, you can layer on a map of all of the publicly available charging stations in the city or in the county and in my district, and there's no overlap. So we really have like zero public charging stations in the district, and I think this is huge when we talk about like the chicken and egg of getting people wanting to get into electric vehicles. It doesn't make sense for a lot of people and their families because they're like, where am I going to charge it? And they may not have the resources to install a charger at their home, or they may not have a home where they can install a charger. All kinds of options. So I think having things like this at the places where people gather, community centers, libraries, is huge. So I'm really grateful for this project, and thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Great. Next up, we have Director Gatewood.
Oh.
And then I can't see who's on Zoom, so. Okay, so we'll have Director Gatewood, and then we'll go to Director Lopez.
When are you going to put it in Rancho?
I can't. I work for the city of Sacramento.
Listen, let's talk about this. Listen, we would like to have some of those charger stations. So if we could talk offline, just to get the cost, because in my community, it's all disadvantaged youth that are near that part of Rancho Cordova. So just the bikes alone would be, we have discretionary funds, and we need to spend them all the library funds that I have in that fund. Since we're about to set up 3 small libraries before we get our big library, we'd love to have that put there in the county area.
Perfect. Well, one of the reasons why I'm late is I just got off of a call with the
You couldn't get in because you got frisked 3 times when you tried to walk in the building?
That too.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
No, I had a call with the Energy Commission just to give them an update of where we are, and their whole purpose is to see how well this works so that they can share the information with other jurisdictions and replicate this.
Next, we have Director Lopez on Zoom.
Yes, hi, thank you. Very interesting concept. I love that you're putting EV chargers in various locations because Director Maple is absolutely correct. We need it so very badly. My question is actually really basic. What about insurance and liability? What kind of information are you collecting to make sure that, God forbid someone get hurt on a trike or what have you, and who's then liable and all that good stuff?
The only answer I can give is that we have some very smart attorneys that looked at waiver language and put it together. So when people check these things out, they are assuming full liability for anything that happens while they're riding these trikes. And insurance-wise, we initially looked into insuring them primarily for theft. I couldn't find any policies that made financial sense, but once we started losing a few more, I actually got connected with the city of Long Beach, which provided some information that looks like it could be positive. I just have to dig in a little bit more on that one.
Yeah, I'm just concerned because the insurance situation in California in general is very prohibitive and not cost effective in the least. So just wanted to ask about that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Clerk, is there any more questions on Zoom? Okay. Thank you so much to the city team for coming down here. Appreciate your time. Next up, we're moving up to item 3.3, Facilities Project Update and Group 4 Planning and Architecture.
Good afternoon. Let's see, get him to switch over to the presentation. Switch it over. Okay, this is not right. Give me 1 second, we got to get to the PowerPoint. That's the budget. Yeah, could we get them to advance it to the facilities one? So while I'm waiting, is there any songs anybody would like us to sing here to?
You don't want to hear me sing?
Oh, I so do.
I believe in a thing called love by the Darkness.
And the fact that you said it that fast means we need to hear it. Someone download some music. Sir, IT's right there. Music download.
Here we go. All right. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Jared Keller, Deputy Director, Support Services. I'm joined today by Don Marquez from Group for Architecture and Planning. 2024 is the year of building projects, and so it's very exciting. This is, since I've been here, since started in 2015, this is the most building projects we've ever had, and many of these projects have been paid for as a result of the California State Library's Building Forward Infrastructure Grant Program, also by dedicated efforts of our jurisdictions. So today we're going to look at some key projects, projects going on at the Bell Coolidge Library, Central Library, Colonial Heights Library, L.A.K. McClatchy, South and Thomas, Sylvan Oaks, and of course a little more in-depth discussion of a very exciting project happening at the Martin Luther King Jr. Library. Please note that this time we're not reporting out on the Elk Grove Library project or the North Sacramento Hagenwood project. Those will be reported at a different date. All right, the first is the Bell Coolidge Library. So Bell Coolidge Library was a recipient of the Building Forward Infrastructure Grant Program. It was a complete replacement of the building facade. You can see there's a lot of activity going on right there. They took off the tile facade and it's now very nice stucco. So the building is looking really great. In addition, they're also doing the same to the bookmobile cage. So this is addressing a lot of dry rot and other maintenance issues that occurred over the years. We were also notified by the City of Sacramento in April that they would like to do an HVAC and roofing repairs to the building. It will extend its closure date till mid-June, but we thought it was very smart. That way we don't have to reopen the library, then quickly close it. So that will also be done as well. When Bell Coolidge is done, it will be quite exciting to see all of the changes that have occurred. And following up from the presentation that Sparky and Leanna gave, this is Bell Coolidge is also one of the areas for EV charging. So this is the pads that have been put in place by the City of Sacramento for the chargers that will be going in the next few months. We're moving to the Central Library. As you know, over the years, I have spoken about the reliability issues of the Central Library elevators. Just a little trivia. They are the most used public libraries in this public elevators in the city of Sacramento, and they're finally going through a much-needed refit. The project started last month, and it's a 26-week project. So for those of us who have been stuck in the elevators over the years, we're very happy that this project is moving forward. Colonial Heights Library is also getting EV charging. City of Sacramento has been working very diligently, and they have set the pad for the EV chargers, which will be installed in the next few months. L.A.K. McClatchy Library, the sunroom is almost completed, and we expect it to be done at end of June. We want to give a special thanks to the Friends of the L.A.K. McClatchy Library. They have been very patient through this process, and we're looking forward to being able to turn the space over to them. The South and Thomas Library recently went through a interior refresh where the carpet was replaced, and we also did some furniture enhancements. It really has done a tremendous effort in transforming the space and making it more welcoming and friendly. I also want to give a huge shout out to David Hillier, our facilities manager, who's in the audience today. David is very instrumental in coordinating all of the projects between our jurisdictions, and then in between what little time he has, he also does amazing projects like this. So really a special shout out to him and all he does. And finally, the Sylvan Oaks Library. In May, 2 security gates were installed, one at the Auburn Boulevard entrance and one at the Van Buren entrance. These gates are helping us resolve some issues that we have with after-hours activity. Since the installation of the gates, we have seen an extreme reduction in after-hours issues that we have to deal with. So this is part of our multi-phase plan that we have for addressing issues at the Sylvan Oaks Library. And finally, I'm going to hand it over to Group 4, who's going to talk about the very exciting Martin Luther King Jr. renovation project. So Don, there you go. Heather, can we get him to switch the presentation out?
Thank you, Jared. Good afternoon, members of the board, Madam Chair. I do not sing and I do not dance, Jared.
Girl will sing.
Hey, but we have other talents we're going to share with you in a minute.
We fully support your talents, even if you can't dance or sing.
I offered, but no.
Excellent, thank you. So an update on the progress in the design for the MLK library, kind of more than a remodel in my mind, really a re-envisioning. And so tonight, or this afternoon, we're giving you a presentation on the update and the progress that we've made. As we look at the background of the library, just a very unique, special library. Has everyone been and seen the MLK library? If you haven't, you should definitely go, especially before we close for remodeling. Well used, well loved, got to know the community a little bit, the friends, as we've gone to the pop-up kiosk at the library, we've gone to the local community center at Pennell. Really a very vibrant part of this community, and I know they're very much looking forward to this re-envisioning and kind of the rebuild of the project. Where we're at in the progress is we are just completing design development. And so today is the presentation of the design, which will then let us move ahead and kick off into construction documents. Right now, the project schedule, we're looking at starting construction first of the year and looking at being closed for about 12 months. And I think this complements really nicely with Bell Coolidge, which is currently under construction. And we did see a lot of the patrons from Bell Coolidge at our outreach. And so just as one closes, the other opens, being able to use each other during the remodel. Looking at the existing facility, the conditions assessment is on the left. And really what this says, very high level, is the size of the library is great. The size of the site is great. That's why the EV charging stations are being located. Lots of parking, lots of available site. The condition of the building is not so great. The location is fabulous. And then the operational layout of the building is not so good. So these are really key indicators that influence the decision to do this major remodel and to really build on the great structure that's already there and to refresh it. Design goals included reflecting and celebrating the community, creating a safe and welcome and accessible environment, creating a new and modern library focusing on kids and teens, including play spaces for families, adaptable and flexible for the changing needs and services of the library, wayfinding and sightlines, very important, access to resources, technology, gaming, computers, meeting space. One of the big deficiencies of the current library is the very small, somewhat inadequate, in my opinion, meeting space that is used as a storage room, as well as multitude of other uses, which really need a larger space. Highlights for the African American collection, and having it being durable and easy to maintain. Really a full complement to community engagement. So we did 2 rounds of community engagement. The first one was looking at needs and values. The second one, we looked at theming and sustainability. And then we do have a community meeting tonight as well. Focus group and technical meetings, pretty robust with library staff, the city's mechanical and structural team, looking and meeting with the Friends of the Library, developing spaces for them to use in the library, the building official, and then more in-depth discussion with the library staff on collections. Round 1 community engagement, we asked about needs and values. Multi-prong approach. We had iPad kiosk at the Pennell Community Center. We had actually a pop-up kiosk at the library the whole time. We did a community meeting and community engagement at the African Heritage Museum. For round 2, very similar online survey, pop-up kiosk, iPad kiosk, online survey. So both of these, a great turnout with over 525 participants. And what did we hear from the community? We heard what they wanted to do at the library. Very important to them was gaming, do-it-yourself classes, reading and studying. You can see the top 3, but all of them ranked actually very high. As we looked at what their preference for the interior design for the remodel, they wanted it to be warm and inviting, cozy and comfortable, as well as engaging. As we jump to round 2, community input, We asked them to give their preference on 3 design options. A river runs through it, our place in the world, and the biggest vote getter here was a vibrant heart, one that really reflects and celebrates the diversity of the community and reflects the multicultural aspects. So really excited about that. And then what are their priorities for the building in terms of sustainability? It's great that the existing building has lots of windows because daylighting is the most important, followed by universal accessibility and energy efficiency. With the design update, again, the building has really good bones, really good place to start with, and so really excited about the opportunities to bring it into the 21st century and have it feel like a new building when you walk into it. It does have high ceilings. You can see the natural daylighting. The challenges were the community space, opportunities for gender-neutral restrooms, which is great, expanded teen areas, incubator space, and group study rooms. Here is a summary of the building program, kind of our graphic summary of everything that we can fit in this 15,000 square feet, which is something for everyone, from the marketplace and Friends of Library bookstore, to the meeting room, to the teen space, children's space, adult space, collaboration spaces with group study rooms, the incubator space, and a very functional operational staff workroom, which I know is getting staff excited. Proposed floor plan. So the entry is actually right between the community room and the staff workroom. That current entry is staying the same, but we're flipping the community meeting room and the staff space. The reason to do that is so that we can make a larger community room. It can be accessible to the gender neutral restrooms after hours, right off of the lobby there. Then as we move around kind of clockwise, we have the incubator space that has an adjacent outdoor creator patio. Then the children's space. We're dividing, separating out acoustically the children's space and the teen space and the adult space with group study rooms. The teen space is in the middle there, directly across the sight lines. Very high profile real estate, lots of visibility, really a great space for the teens to go to. The adult space, a little more quiet off to the right. And then a fully functional staff room is in gray there, with the book return on the right as you go in, the automated material handling machine, direct line out to get the material flow as efficient as possible. So looking at the pictures of the existing library, you can see how the lights kind of drop the ceiling space down, the very dated painting of the structure, and it really feels like a much smaller space than it is. So the goals as we look at opening this space up, celebrating the volume, and bringing in the natural light. Here is the rendering of the renovated space, really creating a new space reflective of the community's goals in terms of the design values, and creating a space that really is a place the community can come together. Staff space on the right, browsing collection in the middle there, surrounded by all the different spaces that I'm going to walk you through in a minute. The children's space is basically the same place it is now. It has a nice kind of portal entry that helps bring the scale down for the kids, appropriate size for the smaller folks, as well as supporting the acoustical zoning. The colors you'll see are really starting to bring in some of the pop that the community wanted to see, but all complement each other. This is the teen space. Again, those acoustical felt shapes coming down, creating a little bit more of a human scale in the larger volume, and then the space for gaming, the space for the teen collection, as well as collaboration, and the group study spaces on either side of that, flanking it for acoustical zoning. And the incubator space, really excited to have that outdoor space available for programming so the library can do those messy things outside and not have to clean up inside afterwards, but good visibility and a really nice space for additional technology and creation. And then probably the biggest impact for the community is going to be this community room, probably 3 times larger than it currently is, available after hours, adjacent to the restrooms, fully AV functioning. It's really going to be something we wish we had tonight when we're at the community meeting, but we'll be happy to share with the community. So just where we're at, June 2024 is start of construction document phase, start of construction next year. And as I mentioned, after this presentation, we're all heading over to the library for a community meeting. So if you have nothing on your agendas, please join us. So that is completion of our update.
Thank you so much. And we have Director Vang with a question or comment.
Thank you, Chair Talamantes. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Jared, our city staff, and just our consultant for working so hard to get us to this moment. It's been almost 3 years since we started this conversation. I know MLK is long overdue for a renovation, so I was so grateful when we received that grant from the state, but also the matching funds from the city of Sacramento as well. So I'm really looking forward to the community meeting tonight. I just want to say thank you for working with our office on those pop-up kiosks, the community survey. I think we had a lot of great feedback, and I know many folks in the community is eager to actually see this presentation. So I feel like we got a preview to this. So just wanted to say thank you so much. And then lastly, I just wanted to say, earlier we heard about the e-trikes, but, our libraries are more than just buildings with books, right? They're central hubs. I know at the Martin Luther King Library in particular, we have summer meals there. The library is right next to Sacramento Manor, which is our low-income senior housing complex. And so the need is so dire right there in Meadowview. And MLK is definitely one of our gem in the community. So I'm just really excited to see this renovation happen. The only thing I would share, because I know you are all will be presenting tonight, I know we're not going to be talking about budgets so much tonight. We're kind of just going to give the community a little bit about the renderings, the feedback. But I think a question that the community will ask me, and then I will come back to you, is the breakdown of that $5 million and the portion from the city and how we're planning to spend it. So just wanted to tee that up and to make sure that we're ready for that conversation. I'm excited. It looks like we got the budget ready to go, but my community, they got a lot of questions, so they want to know how those dollars are going to be allocated within this project. So just wanted to share that. But that's it. I'm really excited for this project. I want to just thank all of you for your hard work. So let's get this done. And I know that grant expires in 2026. So the sooner we start the project, the cheaper the project, right? If we delay it, then construction cost goes up, and we want to make sure we stay within the budget. So the other piece is let me know what I need to do, what we need to do to keep this project moving so that we can stay under budget and on time. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Director Vang. And Mr. Quayle?
Thank you, Chair Chalmontes. Director Vang, yes, we're very excited for the meeting tonight, and we'll have all that information for you and your team and the community. And I just want to echo, G4 has done an amazing job so far. Really happy to partner with them in the city. It's been a great partnership, and we're looking forward to getting this project finished. And as you saw from the renderings, it's going to be beautiful, and I'm really excited to have this happen. So looking forward to it, and really thank you for your support.
Okay, thank you so much. And David, thank you so much for all your hard work and completing all the tasks. A round of applause for David. Okay, moving along to item 3.4, strategic plan, collab capacity.
Thank you, Chair Talamantes. Our consultant, Audrey Barbakoff, was unable to be here today for some scheduling issues, but she has a short video to introduce the strategic plan. And I will just tell you that Audrey is a librarian by training, and she has done strategic plans for a number of libraries and has a lot of experience in urban libraries, most recently having worked at King County Library in outside of Seattle. So we worked with her for a number of almost a year now on this project. So we're grateful to have this plan. And so I'll let you watch the video that she has prepared, and we'll go from there.
Hello, Sacramento Public Library Authority Board. I wish I was able to join you in person today. I appreciate the opportunity to share some background on the truly visionary, impactful strategic planning conducted by Sacramento Public Library leadership and staff. Let me introduce myself. My name is Audrey Barbakoff. I am the CEO of Collab Capacity LLC, a consulting practice that supports libraries in centering community voice. I hold a doctorate in organizational change and leadership from the University of Southern California, and I bring more than a decade of firsthand experience in public libraries. I am honored to have had the opportunity to facilitate your strategic planning process for the library. When Peter and I first talked about this project, he told me he wanted a different kind of strategic plan for the library. Not a giant binder that would sit on a shelf gathering dust. Not a rigid, prescriptive laundry list of expectations delivered from the top. Instead, he envisioned staff and the community coming together to create a flexible, dynamic framework that would empower the library and community to build relationships for aligned, strategic decisions that reflect and evolve with the community's aspirations. To fulfill this vision, we embarked on a collaborative, relationship-based process focused on community goals. Instead of top-down, it was designed to be center-out, like the spokes of a wheel with community as the hub. We began externally by learning about the community's hopes and dreams. At first, we didn't even ask people about the library at all. We asked them about the kind of community they wanted to live in. Then we turned to the deep expertise of your library staff and leadership. They looked for alignment between the community's aspirations and the library's mission, vision, values, strengths, and capacity. Then we went back to the community again to see if we'd gotten it right and to invite them to co-create the library's picture of how success would look. Going through this process means that the strategy you're about to see is at its core a roadmap for how the library, working within its scope, can make a unique contribution to the community's big dreams. I think we all know that a written plan is just the beginning. To make it a reality, you need people to come together and put it into action. That's why we engaged thousands of people throughout this process, from community members to partner organizations to library staff. Because they all co-created every element of this plan, we know that it is deeply relevant. And going through this process empowered staff all through the system to build community relationships. Those relationships will allow them to bring the strategy to life and make a difference together. Thank you for inviting me to share this brief introduction to SPL's strategic planning process. It has truly been an honor to support your library's dedicated staff and visionary leadership. I hope you are as inspired by this community-centered plan as we are.
So Audrey gave a very good overview of the process, and I just want to point out that this was a collaborative process between staff and library leadership. We had a steering team that was comprised of 12 members, and there were more frontline staff and management, and we really wanted to make sure that all the voices of the staff were heard. So we asked staff to participate in surveys and community town halls, and then, as she said, we send them out in the community to talk with their local CBOs and nonprofits. And we have come up with this plan, which we're really pleased to present today. We teased out some of the strategies a couple months ago, but now we have the goals in place, and we're looking forward to moving forward with this, as Audrey said, for our staff and the community to co-create the future of the library. I say often that we are the public library, and without the public, we wouldn't exist. So it makes sense for us to work with the public to have the library be what they want it to be. And we're really excited about this, and I think the staff will be too. Once we start this after the summer, we're going to spend summer doing some ideation, some planning, and once summer reading is done, we will roll out more activities and programs about this, but once we adopt it today, then we'll move forward with moving forward and creating an even better library for our community. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about the plan or the process.
So for the process, are you going to come back and let us know when you're opening up and having those conversations?
Yeah, we'll definitely. So the conversations have happened, but the training for the staff of how to co-create will happen, and we'll provide updates to the board on a regular basis on where we're at with this. Because it's not the kind of plan where we're going to look for 12 story times a week or sort of thing. So we'll be providing a little bit more updates in terms of the activities and programs, and not necessarily metrics of that sort of thing. But we will definitely do that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions on Zoom?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Who? Oh, Director Lopez and then Director Lefkowitz.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to make a comment. I absolutely love the presentation of your strategic planning process. I really like the conciseness of the goals. It's easy to read. It's easy to wrap your mind around the concepts and what you're going for. So I just wanted to commend you and your staff and your consultant on such a great body of work.
Great. Thank you so much, Director Lopez-Taft.
All right, Dr. Lefkowitz.
Hi. I also really like the plan a lot. I think it's very interesting. You can feel the community in it. I particularly like the youth engagement and youth leadership component. And had a few questions about that one in particular. And primarily, I don't know if this is appropriate right now, but perhaps you could get back to me with the answer to this question, which is I was curious what the level of staffing to support the youth leadership, youth engagement component is. Because what you outlined there is very exciting, but I think it takes some staff resource to make that happen. So I'm glad if you want to just send me a note, or if you have an answer right away, that's fine too.
Yeah, we can definitely connect with more details on that. I would say that this is a plan, and how we're going to operationalize it is still something that we have to figure out. So that'll be part of that conversation is it may require adjusting how we do things or adding other resources. But we'll come back to you with more information. We can talk a little bit more directly about some of those things to Director Lefkowitz.
Okay. And then another question I had was, or a request actually, and I think it would be really great if over this next year the board could have a presentation on maybe each of the different elements as you're getting more clear on the rollout. And I personally would love to have the Youth Advisory Board come and speak with us, perhaps in a workshop that we do with our board around the youth engagement piece. So I think I think you have 4 key objectives. I think it would be really good for the board to hear more in depth on, maybe separately on each of those objectives over the year. So I wanted to make that request.
We can certainly accommodate. I think that's a great request as well, and we'll definitely make sure that happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my third question is, just as you think through how are you going to measure the implementation and the metrics of success, particularly because I'm aware that the library does not collect demographic data on who uses the library, and even who has library cards outside of their zip code. So it's just something I think we should be thinking about is, to really see who exactly is using the library by demographic data, by age data, by race and ethnicity data. If it's ever possible to get that kind of data, I think that could be really useful. So I just want to put that out there as well. And that's it.
Do we collect that data already? We don't collect that data?
Dr. Claude, do we collect that data?
We don't collect demographic data. We collect basic user information, but we collect the birth date, but we don't collect any gender, race, or any of those sort of demographic items. It's just your name, address, and phone number, and that sort of thing. Yeah, the age, but that's the only demographic data that we. Yeah, but we also use our census data. We have. As you saw the maps from the earlier presentation, we know where people live in the census area, so we can kind of track demographically and extrapolate, but it's not scientific.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Peter, Can I ask a question? Just because Bina brought it up, is it possible we can perhaps talk offline? Because I think there could be some way of collect that data, even if it's opt-in. I think it's good for our region and our SAC Public Library Authority to not just look at the age, but also like demographics is so key. And I think there's a way to do it, even if it's an opt-in and people are applying or renewing, and they can report if they want to. So I think there's a way to do it, but I'd love to talk to you offline.
Yeah, we definitely could do that.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you so
definitely.
much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. And Director Lefkowitz, do you have any other questions?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Great idea. Okay, we're done with the presentations. We're moving along to item 4, executive team report.
I'll be very brief. You have my written report. I just want to highlight that summer reading is starting, or is starting today, right? It has started, and Kathy has modeled her summer reading shirt. So we're very excited to start that, and there'll be the kickoff event next Saturday at Howe Park, and so we'll kick that off with that event. And summer lunches will be starting soon as well. We're still finalizing the details with some of our partners, but those two activities will take up most of the summer, and then at the end of the summer we'll roll out more of the strategic plan. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the report or anything else that we've mentioned today.
No, but I know summer reading is really popular, so if you guys want to send us the social media toolkit for us to be able to promote it and see if we can exceed last year's goal. And let's get started. Summer's here.
Yeah, Chair Thomas, we actually this morning we'll do that after this meeting. So we actually just discussed it this morning. So you'll get that very soon.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Information items, we don't have any reports out. Do we have any questions on any information items for? Nope. Okay. Consent. Item number 6. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Chantal?
Oh. Is there any public comment on this? Sorry.
No.
Okay, sounds good.
Chantal? Aye. Karina Talamantes?
Aye.
Katie Valenzuela?
Yes.
Katie Maple?
Aye.
Mai Vang?
Yes.
Mary Jane Lopez Taff?
Aye.
Rod Brewer?
Aye.
Kevin Spees?
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood?
Aye.
Tanya Kravchuk?
Aye.
Vina Lefkowitz?
Yes.
Saul Hernandez?
Yes.
The motion passes with 12 members voting.
Thank you so much. And the next one is item 7, which is an action item for fiscal year budget 2024-2025.
Well, good afternoon, Chair Talamantes and members of the board. So now you get to hear numbers and see a bunch of numbers as well, too. So as you mentioned, this is the fiscal year 24-25 budget, position control, fee structures, and the cost allocation plan. I have a short PowerPoint presentation, but feel free to ask any questions along the way to clarify any numbers. So just a quick reminder, the library's 3 primary funding sources comes from property tax revenues in the unincorporated areas of the county, the city of Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova, city of Galt, city of Citrus Heights, and Alton, so making about 56.8%. And then city of Sacramento contributions from general fund and Measure U at approximately 22.5%. And parcel taxes Measure X and B combined at about 15.8%. The remaining 4.9% comes from miscellaneous revenues from fees for lost books and materials, investment income, Galleria rental revenues, E-rate reimbursement, central distributions, and donations. The proposed budget is a balanced budget. Revenues are projected to come in at approximately $63.3 million combined, and expenditures of $67.3 million. And of that amount, $2.9 million expenditures are one-time expenditures, and those includes So the one-time expenditures includes security camera system and audio-video system upgrades, brand signage replacements, AMHS machines, as we saw in the central locations. And we're also upgrading our legacy enterprise system called Eden into the what's known as enterprise ERP within the Tyler technology companies. And then also 1.2 million has been requested by the city of Elk Grove to use the supplemental fund reserve for the new Elk Grove Library. So as you recall that the supplemental fund has been, it's a cumulative balance, it's been added over the number of years to equal to about 1.2 million. And so the net operating expenditures are estimated to be approximately 63.2 million for a modest surplus of about $100,000.
So I'll stop and focus. We're $100,000 up. So that's the big thing. Just wrap it all together.
A
100 grand in the
surplus.
thing. And they're going to need it in Sacramento. So let's go ahead and cut them a check. So I'm trying to help out. Listen, we give you 100 grand. You know what? We'll split it. 25.
Point of order.
So this slide here shows a good visual of the revenues and expenditure pie charts. Again, county property tax revenues coming in at approximately 56.8%. City of Sacramento general fund and Measure U combined 22.5%. Postal taxes Measure X and B combined at 15.8%. And again, 4.9% in miscellaneous income. On the expenditure side, we are a service industry, so our salaries and benefits are a little bit over a little bit over 50% at about approximately 55%. Services and supplies and food maintenance at about 30.3%. Books and materials at 12.5%, and capital projects about 2.4%. Exhibit A1, this is a good 3-year flow of our fund balances. So as you see, the beginning fund balance, this is based on last year's audited financial statement, showing a total fund balance of approximately $62.5 million. And so in the current year, we're estimating about revenues at about $61.9 million in total revenues, and expenditures at approximately $58.2 million. So we are just one short month away from June 30, and so staff will be working on closing the books, preparing adjusting journal entries before we do the final close. So these numbers here are subject to change once we go through the closing process.
I have a question for you. I know a lot of our cities are experiencing just a lot of growth from Elk Grove to North Natomas and, just throughout Sacramento, we're growing as a region. How does that impact our budgets? Do you forecast that in?
Yeah, so again, our 3 primary revenue sources are property taxes.
Right.
So as growth continues in the county, the cities, so we do get a uptick in property tax revenues.
So you see our budget probably growing throughout the years. Would you be able to have a number of how much it could grow with?
So again, the budget is based on property tax revenues, and we work closely with the county assessor to determine property tax projections. And from what we're seeing, there's a slight downtrend in property tax revenues. So obviously, it's reached its high and it's starting to go down slightly. So fortunately, the property values are still at the higher level rather than seeing any drastic decreases.
Thank you.
I have another question as well.
Is that Director Lopez?
Yes, correct. On your proposed 24-25 budget, Exhibit 1A, I see that you had mentioned a savings, but it looks like on your proposed budget for 24-25, we have a loss. Expenses are 67 million, revenues are 63 million. Is that a typo? Is there other information we need to know about?
Yes, so thank you for that question, Director. The total revenues are 63.3 million, and expenditures are coming in at about 67.3 million. The almost 4.1 million are one-time expenditures, and these are from, we're recommending to use prior year budget savings over the last 3 to 4 fiscal years. As you recall, with the COVID shutdown, there's been major delays with supply chain issues, shipping delays as well too. So this would be appropriate to use prior year budget savings for these one-time expenditures. And then also the City of Elk Grove, as you remember, the supplemental fund, these are cumulative balances that have been added over the last many years. So currently they have almost 1.2 million in supplemental fund balance reserves, which are dedicated to use for any library purposes, including expansion, in this case, infrastructure needs. They could have used it for increase in hours to purchase collections and so forth as well too. So although it seems like there's a $4 million deficit, but again, these are one-time expenditures, and we would like to recommend to the board that we use prior year budget savings for these one-time expenditures.
So what's in reserves? And what's the percentage we like to keep in reserves?
So we can take a look at the reserves. So on the schedule here in Exhibit A1, so as you see in the second to last column, so the county and city fund is showing at approximately $12.8 million in reserve. So this is a 35% reserve based on our operating budget expenditures. And then likewise, the City of Sacramento, general fund and Measure U and postal taxes X and B, those are reserved at 17%. And that's mainly because they pay the library on a monthly basis. Compared to the county, we receive property tax revenues every six months. So there are one payment in roughly in January, and then another second payment in May, and then a final true-up payment in August. So those monies come in at a different cash flow needs, and that's why we recommended to keep the County of Sacramento Reserve Fund at 35% reserves.
Thank you.
Hopefully that clarified your question. Any other questions on Exhibit A1?
You can keep going. Good job. I think that's just, yeah, you can keep going.
Okay. Exhibit A2, just really quick. Again, the total sources of fund at 63.3 million, expenditures 67.3 for a net user fund balance. Again, for one-time expenditures, which this is appropriate for one-time usage, such as the Elk Grove supplemental fund request. Exhibit A3, these are revenue sources in a little bit more detail. Again, the final grand total is 63.3 million. The county property tax contributions and is coming in at approximately 36 million. Again, this is showing about 4.5% increase in property tax revenues. So that 4.5%, we do communicate closely with the county assessor to determine what her projected increase would be. So we're looking at about 4.5%. In the out years, it's less determinable. So hopefully the property tax revenues continue to stay at the high level. City of Sacramento general fund and Measure U contribution is projected to come in at approximately 14.3 million. Postal tax X and B 7.2 million and 2.7 million respectively. And there are some miscellaneous adult literacy grant from the state at $66,000, and other partner library revenues at approximately $111,000. So again, the total revenues at $63.3 million. And then on the flip side, the expenditures, $67.3 million. So you can see the breakdown here: salaries, services and supplies, materials and books, capital projects, deferred maintenance. Cost allocation plan, we'll look at the cost plan percentage breakdown in a bit. But if you look at the schedule here, the allocable cost from our indirect share cost fund, the County of Sacramento is receiving close to $16.6 million in cost allocation distribution from our shared indirect cost. And then also, you also see the supplemental fund transfer, which is almost $1.2 million. And so this amount here, once we start the new fiscal year, we'll be in communication with the finance director at the city of Elk Grove, and then we would do a wire transfer to the city at some point. So again, the same concept on other funding sources for a grand total of $67.3 million in expenditures. And then the schedule here, Exhibit A5, this is our books and material budget. As you know, collections, books, materials are always in high demand, so staff is recommending to maintain the budget at $8.4 million. Position control in Exhibit B, staff is recommending to add 9.5 FTEs, so going from 333 to 42.5 FTEs. And so these are the position breakdown. We are recommending to add 1 accounting specialist, 1 librarian, 6 library assistants, limited term, half material handler, 1 mobile bilingual library associate, and our staff is recommending to remove 1 retired annuitant. The person was working on a special project to streamline our grants, to streamline our contract process, and the project is completed, so we are recommending to eliminate that position. And then lastly, add 1 visual communication specialist in the communication department. Again, the grand total FTE is 342.5 FTEs. On the Exhibit C, fee structure, there are no changes. We continue to collect fees only, and we have not been collecting fines. I think during the COVID days since, I believe, in fiscal year 2020 or 2021.
Estamos pidiendo el mileage una vez por año. Okay. Y si lo tienes, me lo puedes dar ahora. Okay.
And then the capital projects and deferred maintenance, we are budgeting $1.6 million in the capital projects and deferred maintenance budget. Of that amount, $1.1 million is for the system-wide security camera system upgrades and audio video refresh in the Galleria. $500,000 for the automated material handling systems, and the remaining for miscellaneous maintenance cost. And then on Exhibit D, the cost allocation plan. So this plan is updated annually. We contract out with a consultant known as NBS. And so this cost plan is put together based on the guidelines of Title II Code of Federal Regulations, Part 200, so mainly for local governments. And so what the cost plan does, it allocates indirect shared cost into the operating funds, which are the county cities fund, the city of Sacramento general fund, Measure B and Measure X. So, and then if you look at the far right column, you'll see that the 5-year average is 58% for the county fund, 26% for the city of Sacramento, 5% for Measure B, and Measure X at 11%. So staff will continue to recommend that we use the 5-year average to minimize any cost volatility year over year. And so based on the cost allocation percentages, our indirect cost for fiscal year 24-25 is projected to be at $28.7 million. And so this is so based on that amount, 58% is allocable to the county fund, which is $16.6 million, and City of Sacramento, $7.5 million, Measure X at about $3.2 million, and Measure B at approximately $1.4 million. And then lastly, future challenges, as you know, Jared mentioned earlier with the facilities update, there are a number of after our activities, increasing activities, encampments, there's vandalism and theft of our irrigation system, so that continues to drive up cost. Inflation continues to impact the cost of services, supplies, books, materials, healthcare and capital projects. CalPERS continue to amortize the library's unfunded accrued liability using the 5-year ramp-up method. So staff is projecting an increase of approximately $1 million over the next 5 years, so approximately $200,000 per year. And then, as you all know, the City of Sacramento is facing a $66 million structural deficit for fiscal year 24-25. So our library funding sources, including the general fund revenue and Measure U contribution, is contingent on the city's funding level. So we want to keep that in mind as well too. But based on communication with the city's finance director and the budget team, we have a 5-year forecast in place. Again, that's not a guaranteed amount. It's just a 5-year forecast that we have to work with. And then lastly, there are 2 collective bargaining agreements slated to expire June 30, 2024. Staff is currently in negotiations with both units, the library unit and the supervisory unit. So that is the last slide. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. And do we have any questions from any directors online? No? Okay. Seeing none. Thank you so much for your presentation. This is an action item, so I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Wonderful. We have a first and a second. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Chantal.
Aye.
Karina Talamantes.
Aye.
Katie Valenzuela.
Yes.
Katie Maple.
Aye.
Mai Vang.
Yes.
Mary Jane Lopez Taff.
Aye.
Rod Brewer.
Aye.
Kevin Spees.
Aye.
Garrett Gatewood.
Yes.
Tanya Kravchuk.
Aye.
Ina Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Saul Hernandez.
Aye.
And motion passes with 12 members.
Thank you so much. Item 8, reports, ideas, and questions from board members.
I have one.
Go for it, Mr. Gatewood.
I would like to motion that we look at moving our meeting to the Sacramento City Hall. I think it's a better location right now. I think it'd be easier for a large chunk of our board members to actually still attend in person. And it just seems like it would be a better fit for us. So I'd like to task Peter Cole with just looking into that, talking to our amazing council members at Sacramento and seeing if they have room for us over there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Director Gatewood, and direction to Mr. Coyle to look into that.
Yes, Madam Chair, we'll work with the clerk and we'll work and get you some information on the possibility of that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Any other? Okay. So now we will go on to closed session, and then I'll come back and adjourn the meeting. So board members, you can take your stuff because not everyone needs to come back.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you in a little bit on Zoom.
She said take your
Y'all
stuff.
read this